even if it's a crowd that could not give a fuck what I'm doing on stage, like I still get huge amounts of enjoyment out of that. Just the fact that I'm out there playing music. Episode number 19 of Kirk Questions. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in, you pack of champions. This is the show where I answer your questions to the best of my ability, and hopefully you get plenty out of that. Here we go. Wish me luck.
First question. So the very first question comes from Athena, the chorus. Sorry, Athena, if I pronounced your name wrong. I do feel like we've had it.
I think Athena, yeah, I was going to say, I think Athena's...
Struggled with the last name then too, so.
I was going to say, I think Athena's a bit of a regular.
Bit of a regular. So Athena, sorry if I'm pronouncing your last name wrong. Apologies, but they have asked.
Right.
What do you miss most about Australia when travelling overseas?
What do I miss most about Australia when traveling overseas? What an ironic time for me to be answering that question. You know, we're in lockdown right now. I don't know what situation will be, and once this episode is released, but right now we're all locked down. Tyler down here is joining me via Google Meets, and I guess it's an interesting time to be answering such a question. So I guess when in the days back when I was out of Australia, what did I miss? I guess number one would be just my family. I absolutely miss them when I'm out on the road, and that's a given, I think, for anyone who travels abroad away from their loved ones. Two, I guess. Two would be, Tyler, absolutely, and also like my studio. I love. Especially, now that I've got a bit more, I'm not traveling around in a van anymore like I was when I was 22, 23 years old. A lot more of it, hopefully still, is flying. Nowadays I've got a bit more of that home lifestyle, and I quite enjoy that, waking up in the morning and having a coffee with my beautiful girlfriend and my little cat Harper, and then I guess being at home in the studio, I really enjoy that process these days of just getting up every day and creating, and just seeing what the day brings. And I'm pretty strict on that routine as well. So I do this thing called time blocking, where there's 4 hours of the day, generally between 10 and 2, but at the moment I'm doing 11 till 3 because I've eased up a little bit with all this lockdown situation. I strictly spend 4 hours with no emails. I turn my phone off, I shut the door, and I just concentrate on the creative side of things, and I really enjoy that. So I think I miss that a lot when I'm overseas or even just out on the road interstate. And other than that, not a whole lot. I definitely still really enjoy the travel aspect of my job. That's half the reason that I do what I do is because I really enjoy traveling. And I guess the other positive that kind of complements all that stuff that I miss is that I'm out playing shows and hopefully entertaining people and hopefully inspiring people, and all those things that I'm just like super passionate about. So it's it's one of those things, like everything, there's a give and take for absolutely every scenario. And I miss a lot of things, but I also gain a lot of things when I'm out overseas as well, or on the road in general. It's not all doom and gloom. The life of a traveling musician ain't all that bad. Don't believe what they tell you, except when you can't be a traveling musician. Even that's not that bad.
Question two comes from Gavin Blake on Facebook.
Gav.
And Gavin asks,
Most memorable audience. Oh, that's like, how long's a piece of string? Gav. I don't know, man. That's a pretty hard question to answer. Like, I think, call me an optimist, but I think like every audience to me is memorable. Like, I never started playing music with the intention that people were going to listen. It was purely just this thing for me to do in my bedroom, get some shit off my chest. When I was 16 years old, that's all it started out as. And it's just grown, it's just flourished from there. And the fact that anyone listens, let alone pays a ticket to come to one of my shows, like, it's all just a massive, massive blessing. Like, that's the way I see it. And it's just something that I'm forever grateful for. And so, even if it's a crowd that could not give a fuck what I'm doing on stage, like, I still get huge amounts of enjoyment out of that. Just the fact that I'm out there playing music in the public, and there's people in that area whilst I do that. Like, that's just, for me, that's just an absolute bonus, and I don't take it for granted. Like, I'm so aware that that could be and has been taken away at any moment. We're in lockdown right now. I can't go and do those shows in public right now. It's proof that like nothing is guaranteed in life, and that's why we just gotta make the most of absolutely every day. I know that sounds cliche, but it's so fucking true. It's not funny. Like YOLO, all that stuff. Like, it's so true. And I hope that and the sad thing is that it often takes us as humans, a situation like this where something is taken away from us, to then go, oh, I actually really, can see how much, I enjoyed that or needed that. So I hope that this whole scenario is a huge, massive wake-up call for everyone. And hopefully, going forward, we hold a higher value for a lot of things that I feel like have been undervalued in society for a long time now. So we'll see what happens. I can't even remember where that question started, but thank you, Gav.
Question number 3.
Number 3.
Comes from @the_red_feathers on Instagram.
At the red feathers,
Yeah. And,
as opposed to blue feathers.
What kind of guitar strings do you use?
Well, that's a really good question, actually. On my main guitar, it's over here actually. On this guitar, which I play at all my shows in public, when I'm doing shows in public, if I do shows in public. This guitar actually is funny enough, it's an electric guitar, but I use acoustic strings on it. Reason being is that when I first got this guitar, I was still playing an old Cole Clark acoustic guitar, and what I used to do with that guitar was I had 2 pickups systems on it to blend. So I had the standard Cole Clark acoustic pickup on it to get the acoustic sound out of it, and then I also installed what's called a P90 pickup, which is an electric guitar pickup generally found on a Gibson, like Les Paul, I guess would be the most common place to find one of those. So I had 2, I installed that on the acoustic guitar, and I would blend the 2 sounds together to get this, I guess you'd call it, somewhere between acoustic and electric kind of sound. And when I got this guitar, I kind of wanted to keep on doing that. I'd never seen anyone do it so much with an electric guitar per se. And so I wanted to do it, and we chucked electric strings on this, and the acoustic sound, which is the pickup just under here, just didn't sound as good with electric strings. So we went back to acoustic strings this time on an electric guitar, and I found the sweet spot. And so that's why I use acoustic strings. And to be, in terms of like which strings I use at the moment, in terms of brand, at the moment I use Elixir. But I'm not too fussy, like in terms of like what gauge and whether they are coated or uncoated, or I don't know. You can get like there's so many options out there now, and I'm just like, just give me some strings that I can put on my guitar and let me just play the guitar. I'm not one of those like fussy f***ers who just like needs everything down to a T. I generally, the stores. I walk into a music store and ask, can I have some of those strings? And they ask, oh, shoot, do you want this one? And my answer is generally, I don't know, just give me, give me that one. That one's closest. That's generally my answer. So, yeah, that's which strings I use, Mr. The Red Feathers. I hope that helps. Thank you for tuning in, you pack of legends. This has been Kirk Questions, episode number 19. We are right up the clacker of episode number 20. I hope you can all join us for that. If you've enjoyed this episode, please chuck us a like, a follow, or a subscribe on all those social media platforms if you haven't already. And if you have a question that you want to ask, please chuck it in the comments below right now. Don't even think about it. Just go for it now. Go, boom, boom, boom. And I will answer one of those questions for you in a future episode. Thanks for tuning in, champions.